Hello, welcome to Always Yarn First, the podcast that delves into knitting, crochet, spinning, and all things yarn. I'm Lindsay, and I'm coming to you from Central Arkansas. To stay updated on my latest yarn adventures, you can follow me on Instagram and Ravelry as Always Yarn First. Welcome, everyone. Today is Wednesday, April 9th. 6 o'clock at night, and there's still light. You can see from the window back there. Let's get into the admin stuff quick. One, I am a Knit Picks ambassador. I have a discount code for 15% off your order. It is below this video. You can use it at any time. Also, I'm hosting a year-long make-along on my Ravelry group page. It is called the Love My Stash Mal. The only rules is it has to be used with yarn that you had before this calendar year, at least 50 grams of yarn for the project, and post your finished objects on the thread. There is also a chatter thread, and I have pulled a winner for March. I will put the name up here. I think it's lmecoll. And I just need you to contact me at AlwaysYarnFirst@gmail.com. Congratulations. If you are in the States, I will send out a prize package to you. Otherwise, I will have you pick a pattern from Ravelry that you'd like. And there's been lots of new things posted in there. So everyone's doing awesome by using and loving your stash. All right. So today is episode 86. If you're new here, thank you for stopping in. I do a traditional podcast style, whips, FOs, things like that, all the things. And I name every episode off of a song title because before my love of yarn was my love of music. And I always find one that seems appropriate to either my making, my spending, my life, whatever. So I think you will notice the title already is Oops, I Did It Again. So stay tuned on what I did again. All right, let's get into the podcast. I have timestamps below for each different section. There is no finished objects this time, so we will have cast-ons, whips, spinning, acquisitions. This is a goals episode. And then at the end, I'll have life, which is really kind of work related. We have a lot of fun things coming up at work. And so I thought it would be a perfect time to kind of go through what is coming up where I work, which is Arkansas Yarn Co., if you didn't already know that. So let's get into new cast-ons. All right, so no finished objects, but I have my new cast on, my sock. If you've been here a while, you know I am doing the Night Owl Fiber year-long make-along for socks. So this is the one I chose from my stash. This is The Peaches Are Watery. I did get this at Arkansas Yarn Co. And I am once again doing a test pattern for Shannon Hobbs. I had started this for last month's sock. I only did the top portion of it, and then I did regular vanilla. So you can see this is my first sock. So that same pattern, if you saw last month's sock, all the way around. The difference is now I have that little strip of yellow that you see. Is the forethought heel, which all that means is that's where the afterthought heel is going. You have just put in the yarn that you will snip. So I put a little waste yarn there, and then you move the stitches off to your left needle, and you continue knitting. So now I am doing the pattern still on the front of the foot, and I'm doing vanilla on the back. So yes. Enjoying this. I really, really love these colors. Blues and peaches. Peachy pinks. And that is my only cast on. Kind of. Well, yeah, my only cast on really. Last time I talked about I was doing a class and there was going to be a cast on, which I did cast on for the class, but I decided I wasn't going to make the scarf. So after the class, I just frogged that yarn. So technically didn't cast it on since you'd seen it. All right, so let's get into whips. I have touched only a couple things again. So this has been kind of my life the last few months is I'm all over the place, but I'm still only touching a few things. You'd think I would get more done. But I will just briefly mention this because again, this looks the same, but if you're new here, this is in my Della Q bag. This is the Unicorn Cloud Wrap. And it looks the same as it does, but it's just so pretty to look at. And where's my stitch marker? So again, you can see my golden stitch marker down there. And so I made quite a bit of progress on this one. And this is using a combo of yarns that came together. This is both by Moondrake fiber. So the slubby yarn and the mohair is both the colorway unicorn, or actually it's a unicorn cloud is the two together, and the colorway is juicy fruit. So it's been around for a while. It will continue to be around for a while, but you can see I am working on it. All right, the next one that I just randomly pulled out because since I got an office, I have all my whips back here, and one day I'm like, I just feel like working on something I haven't touched in a while. So I got out this bag. This is Mrs. Brown's bags. And this is my Moonstone shawl. And I'm using Hedgehog fibers, bulky, and the colorway is Moonstone. So this is a free pattern by Beata of Hedgehog fibers. And I'm in the middle of a row. So this is just a bulky shawl. But again, you can see I made some progress. It's not as much as it looks like because it's bulky yarn, but you can see my progress keeper there. So that is the center of it. I'm basically into the lace patterning now. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can scooch it out on one side at least. So the center, it's hard to see because I just gotten into it. But love, love, love this color. Big bulky needles isn't my thing, so I pick it up very occasionally and then put it back down. But like I said, it's nice to see all my whips here in the room behind me, so I can do that. I can just pick it up and then put it right back down. But the color is so good. Blue is my favorite color with a close runner-up of pink, especially hot pink. So that is whip 2. We are just moving right along with these whips. All right, the real one that got the most work. This is actually my last whip, knitting whip of the last 2 weeks. But this one has definitely gotten the most love. This one is still just as much fun to work on. This is in a bag by Sweet Mountain Crafts. Is that what it is? Nope, Delightful Works. Sweet Mountain Crafts is what I was spinning last time. Delightful Works. This is Susan's bag. And this is the Dorid. This is a decorative scarf. And last time, okay, because of the nature of this thing, I have to kind of like unravel it so you can see where I was. I just saw that progress keeper. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is a one skein decorative scarf. So if you remember, I cast on down here, and then you do this short row thing where it does this on its own. It's just kind of twisting and turning. So here is my progress keeper that I had gotten from Tristan, Dragon Horde Yarns. And I am over halfway done with this. This yarn just wants to hold on for dear life. So you see all my twisty bits. And then I have the flat bit. So the flat part lays on your neck. And now I'm back into the short row twisty bits for the second side. How fun is this? I love this so much. This pattern is Dorid, and I have the name up here. The yarn is Artistic Yarn by Abby, and the colorway Watercolor Stripe. How fun that is. It's so, so good. In fact, normally I would be further along with my socks for the month, because that'd be my go-to project, but this gets taken to work for the rare chance that I get to knit at work. This has been what I've been bringing, and this is what I've been trying to show everybody because it's so much fun. And it's nice and lightweight, and it's really good for like social knitting. It's just knit stitch and slip stitches. My friend Allison, who is a crocheter and a brand new knitter, she enjoyed this, and so she got the pattern in a skein of yarn. She's going to knit this. I'm excited to see hers. So this is so much fun. I definitely suggest this as a nice portable project, especially if you have a skein of self-striping and you don't want it to be socks. This could be a real fun one for you. All right, we're already done. No, we are done with the knitting whips though. So let's get into spinning. All right, I brought both of my spinners in here. I had finished spinning the Sweet Mountain Crafts that I was going to use to ply with my Fiber Nympth Dyeworks Advent. And I have started that ply. So this is my Daedalus Starling. Here is what I have so far. This isn't a full bobbin because I ended up starting something else. So I just, luckily I have two Daedalus and they both plug into the same battery pack. So I just unplugged this from my battery pack and plugged in my other one, which is quite convenient. So you can see that red mixed in with all these different colors. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I just because these aren't my colors, like we're about to get into the brighter bits of the Advent colors, which I think I will enjoy even more. You can see I'm on the green, so it's definitely getting brighter. We kind of started with the moody, like orangey, yellowy, and now we're into like a bright green. And so then we get into blues, purples, and pinks. And I think I will start enjoying it more there, but I'm still on the green, if you can see the green fuzz there. But progress. So that's another reason why I haven't had a lot of knitting whips, because I've actually been spinning more than I usually am, I should say. But last weekend, I don't know where y'all are in the United States, if you are, and got those crazy storms that came through. So last week, Wednesday through Saturday, it was like Storm Alley here in Arkansas, and a lot of other places in the South. So Wednesday, trying to think, Wednesday was my day off, and we had rain and very loud thunderstorms. And I kept thinking, oh, I'm gonna lose power. Nope, didn't. Everything was fine. Thursday for our location was calm. It was gray, rain here and there, but went to work, no problem, came back, no problem. But Friday was supposed to be kind of an intense day, and I was supposed to teach a class at work, and I noticed somebody was driving a bit far. And so we actually went ahead and canceled and moved that class, which I will mention when it comes to work-life stuff, just in case, because we didn't want them to have to worry about trying to drive to get here to not lose that money. So Friday, went to work, was storming, but not too bad. We worked till 5, got home, and it started storming quite a bit more. We were supposed to get possibly tornadoes in our area, but the storm systems moved around enough. We had intense rain and caused a lot of flooding in the area. So I didn't lose power or anything. I charged up all of the things. I have like even lights that are rechargeable. I put podcasts on my iPad so I could have them downloaded in case I lost power. And Friday night, it got, pretty rough, and it was very loud. Lots of rain, lots of flooding in the area, but it was fine. So got up to see how the weather was. It was okay-ish, but in Malvern, where Arkansas Yarn Co. is, there was reported lots of flooding, including the road right before the shop. It was like flooded at that point. So Lori ended up calling that we had no work. And so I took my time and cozied in for another cup of coffee and then made breakfast. And about 10:30, my power went out. Like all this, it was pretty calm. And then all of a sudden, this scary storm came. And the wind was crazy, and all of a sudden my power was out, and it was out all day long. So I tried to use the natural light from the living room, and I'm like, I don't want to spin on that. I want to spin on something nice. So last time you saw that I had purchased this fiber, this Shannon blend fiber from Desert Panda, who did a trunk show with us. So I got out my Sparrow, and look at that. So pretty. I am loving this. So this is my first time spinning Shannon, and it has not disappointed at all. It's been lovely. It's so my colors. I just wanted to really spin on something happy, so I'm enjoying that a lot. So I actually did lots of spinning comparatively. Maybe that's why I haven't done so much knitting. Also, I'd said a while ago that I put my spinning wheel, whatever current spinning wheel, I have it on the top of my IKEA car, my rolly cart. So it makes it easier if I go in the living room at night watching TV and I just roll my cart over to me, start, I'm going right there, which makes it a lot easier to start spinning. I think that's a big part of it. All right, that is truly all my making, except for one thing. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about it now. This might be a future cast on, and I'm saying that, yes, it's kind of cast on. I was just kind of playing with this from scraps. So, typical fashion of cast on-itis. And working at a yarn store, so you're looking at patterns for other people. I'm always looking at patterns and want to cast everything on, even though I don't finish anything. But I had seen this blanket. It's not new. I've seen it many times, but for some reason it really was catching my eye this time. It's called The Quiet Sky by Anita Gibney, and I will put up a picture here. It is a crochet blanket with granny squares, and there is 25 granny squares on this blanket. And the reason I think that really caught my eye is because I have 2 full advents I purchased from last year that I haven't done anything with yet. And I thought, ooh, 25 squares. I think this would be really lovely with the Arkansas Yarn Co. Wonka advent, especially because Lori did like a variegated, then a tonal, a variegated, then a tonal. I think it'd be really pretty. The question was, the pattern is written for DK, but she says that you can do any weight. You just need to pick the appropriate size hook for the weight of yarn you're using. Obviously, my advent is in fingering weight, so I thought, okay, well, can I get away with a 20-gram mini for this? So I just took some scraps, and it is very sloppy. Like, there's even some of my ends kind of showing. But here's what I got so far. So this is like the middle part of the square. This is like the first granny square, and then you do these other parts around it with the two colors. And I would just use an undyed, I think, with my mini skeins, but I'm enjoying it. I am using a 3.5 millimeter, an E-hook. I just got at the store because I could not find one that size in my tools. But yeah, this is just, call it a swatch. It's just kind of like I'm doing some investigative work to see if I can do this with a 20-gram mini for the color. But it's pretty. So we'll see by next time if I'm actually doing this project or the thought was there and it gets pushed by the wayside for a while. But I think it will eventually happen. I'm not allowing myself to buy any advents because I have 2 full advents right now. So there's no need to buy another one when I haven't even used these, even though they're so fun to open. Speaking of so fun to open, let's get into acquisitions. All right, there is some acquisitions happening. All right. And I think I actually may have talked about some of these before they were coming. So I really have 2, well, acquisitions from 3 places. I'm pretty sure that I mentioned, but if not, Gritty Knits, who I love. I get the minis of hers, Natasha's minis for an all-year advent. I'm working on a project. But they had a sale that was kind of unreal, and I just had to get some fiber. So she even had it separated that like you could buy sock blanks, I think. You could buy certain kinds of yarn. And then for fiber, it was separated to softer fibers blends, or I can't remember the wording. But I chose like softer or smoother fiber blends. And the price was so, and they were mystery, so you did not get a choice. Let's see. Oh, fine fibers is what I chose. And when you get any of her clubs, like I get the year-long minis, you get a coupon every month for $10 off. So I also got to use that. So full disclosure, just because I think this is such an amazing deal, I spent $61 with shipping for 4 braids of fiber. 61 bucks. So let's see what they are. So here is fiber 1, which is glorious. This is 4 ounces. It is 60% superwash merino, 30% bamboo, 10% nylon. And I don't know if any of these have a colorway. Oh, good. Some of them do, but this one does not. There's no colorway on this. The next one is, of course, my color jam here. This is 43% extra fine merino, 43% superwash extra fine merino, and 14% nylon. So I feel like this is the first fiber I have gotten that there's nylon in it. So I would love to spin these up to try to make socks. That is going to be my goal for this. And I'm very excited because, of course, it's in my color wheelhouse. But I love all these colors. They're all super good. And that was 4 ounces also. I think all these are 4 ounces. Okay. And here is the next one. And this is just Superwash BFL. And it says color number 0049. It's fun. It has some black in here at the bottom. And the last one is this one. And this is 4 ounces, 50% merino, 25% bamboo, 25% silk, and it just says color 0215. So I got 4 braids, $61. Like, I think that's an awesome, awesome deal. And I have not ever been disappointed with Natasha's colors, ever. So very, very happy about that. The other thing I think I mentioned previously is when last week I showed my Knitting McPurl sock. I have it right here because I still haven't put it away, my sock club from her. I mentioned I ended up ordering the March color of the month because I thought it was spectacular. And sorry about the crinkle because I didn't open this. My bad. And these were the last 3 available. I literally got the last 3, and these are DK. I just love how like bright and kind of, I don't know, but just the color difference in those greens. I'm hoping it's a little more accurate. It looks super blown out in my camera. But I'm loving these. So you cannot get this anymore. This was the March color of the month. This is 100% superwash merino on her Dubrovnik DK. So 246 yards. I was thinking about this being one of my options to cast on for the Tolsta tank. It came to me, which is the Arkansas Yarn Co. garment we're making for the yarn crawl. So I got 3 of those. Move that out of the way. And then part of my order came in for this, so there's going to be more of this also. I mentioned my Night Owl fiber. I completed the first quarter of that knit along, so I got a coupon code. So I went on to Rachel's website and looked at what colors, knowing what colors we already have at the shop, and was having a hard time picking. So the first 2 colors I picked, and now I can't remember, I don't have those yet. Then that same day, I ordered 2 skeins with my coupon. Rachel and her mom had a podcast, and so I started watching that. And wouldn't you know it, one of the colors I almost got but didn't was in there knit up, and I'm like, oh, that's gorgeous. That's nice. I should have got that. Then she's like, oh, I'm working on this new sock. It's not out yet, but it will be up soon. And that is what I did get. So this is called Delicate Rainbow, and I'm hoping you're catching that it has kind of like those, again, those neon, almost similar to this, those neon-y green pops in it. So good. She had it knit up and it was spectacular. And I'm like, man, and I commented on the video and said, I obviously should have waited to use my code. And she said, FYI, you can use the code more than once. You can use it as many times as you want. And I think it expires the beginning of the month. That's why I went ahead and used it, because I'm like, I don't want to lose it. You had the month of April to use the coupon. Well, you can use it multiple times. So if you didn't know that and you have the coupon, you're welcome. But I went on and I immediately ordered this. As soon as she messaged me that, I'm like, okay, I ordered this, and I must have ordered enough when it went up for sale. She had some ready to go, because usually she dies to order. That's why I'm still waiting on my other ones that I ordered first. But this, she had enough, she already done, and I jumped on it quick enough that the next day I had my shipping notification. So this is probably going to be my April socks because this color is awesome. And there'll be 2 more coming. You'll see, I'm sure, next time. All right, that is what I've purchased. But I want to share something that was gifted to me. My friend Allison, the one I mentioned, who is learning to knit, she made this for me. She started weaving, I don't know when you started weaving, Allison, but it definitely hasn't been a year, has it? And so when I go to her house, I see her loom out, and I'm like, that's cool, but I know I would not have the patience to do it. But I'm like, oh, then she wears these nice woven shawls and stuff. So this is actually a towel. This was a towel kit she made me, and she had me pick out the colors, and I love it. It feels so nice. I mean, would you even know that it was a towel? Because like once I opened and saw the shape, I was like, I mean, it could be a shawl. I mean, would anyone really judge me if I wore this as a shawl? I don't think so. Allison, what do you think? I love it. It feels so nice. I love, 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 love it. Thank you, Allison, my friend. All right, I have one more thing to share that was gifted to me, but I think we're going to show that with work events because it has something to do with an event coming up. So before we get into that, let's briefly talk goals. All right, so goals for March. I had 6 skeins of yarn in, 3 skeins of yarn out. I had 4 cast-ons, I had 2 FOs, and within those FOs, I had stitched 140 grams total. My personal goals were my night owl socks and finishing my Sweet Mountain spin to start my Advent, which you saw that I did that. So both of those goals were completed. Yay! I haven't even really wrote goals for April because if you've been here last few podcasts at least, you know my goals are kind of very tamed down because that's kind of where my making's been. I have a lot of things going on in the background, so I just wanted my making life to be stress-free. And it has been. So I have enjoyed that. Even though that means that there's not many finished things to show, I appreciate you all for being here. I mean, sometimes life is this way, but I've enjoyed every single thing I've worked on. Obviously, my socks are part of my goal. I would love to finish my Advent spin, not totally because I mentioned that Sweet Mountain Crafts, I think that fiber is only going to go so far with my Advent. I would like to finish my Advent spin as far as that Sweet Mountain fiber takes me to see where I stand with that. So I guess, does that make sense? I would like to see where that is, but keep going with that. Then I can contact Carista and be like, hey, I need 1 or 2 more braids of this, just so I know how much I have used. But that probably would be my other goal on that. Yeah, I almost feel like a goal should be finish something besides my socks because those always seem to get done. And I'll probably cast on vanilla socks toe up because I am going to a theater to see a movie Friday night and I don't have any vanilla socks. Usually these are, but I am doing a pattern, so I cannot take those into the theater. And I guess I need to pull out my sweaters to see if I have any sweaters in the round. That's what I like to take to the movie because I get so bored doing stockinette body. So that might be a good idea. Pull out my sweaters, see if any is in the round. If so, that will be my movie knitting. All right, so let's get into our last section, and that is life. So life has been okay. I have some things going on in the background, but I don't usually share much of that. But what I really want to get into is work life because I work at Arkansas Yarn Co. And I do the newsletters, if you didn't know that. If you get the newsletter, I do those. And I also schedule classes that we have in store. So I am very attached to the calendar, knowing what's all coming up. And there is a lot. So I just thought, one, if you're local and you'd like to know what's coming up, I will share. And if you're not local, we have quite a few of our regular customers that aren't super local. But sometimes with special events, they like to make sure to plan a trip over. So I want to talk about that. As far as April, so let's start with April events. April events, there's nothing this weekend. Lori and Jessa actually are leaving for Ireland. So they're leaving Anna and I to take care of the store. So yeah, they'll be in Ireland. Anna and I will be just watching over the store while they're having their adventures. It's all good. I love working with Anna. But the 19th, there is an advanced cables class with Tori. And then the 26th is LYS Day. So that's where I want to talk about this next item that Lori gifted me and everyone at the store. This is the LYS bag from Della Q. First of all, I mean, it picked the best color, don't you think? This bag is huge. When we ordered these bags, I did not think they were going to be this big. And it's probably, you're not going to be able to clearly see it. But this bag has a big old center, plus a pocket here, a pocket, a zip pocket here, and it has a nice handle here. It's huge. It is quite big. These are now out of stock on Jimmy Bean's and Della Q website, the last I looked. So I'm pretty sure you can't get these, but we have them in stock. They will go on sale the Saturday before LYS Day. So the 19th of April, these will go on sale in the store and on the website. They are limited quantity. April 26th is LYS Day. So of course we would love to have you in the store. We are going to hold back a few of them. So if they sell out in that week, we will still have a few in store on Saturday, LYS Day, if you come in. Yeah, I love this bag. LYS Day, we also will have, I think, door prizes. We'll definitely have snacks. And Lori and Jessa will be back from Ireland. So if you want to hear all about their trip, you should definitely come in and hang out with us that day. And we will have at least one pattern. I know that if you buy the yarn for, it's a 2-color shawl. So if you buy 2 different colors of fingering weight yarn, you get a pattern free. It'll just be a good time, and come hang out with us. We look forward to seeing you. All right, let's talk May. So May, on the 2nd and 3rd of May, Lori will be at Juju Knits for the North Texas Yarn Crawl. So we have lots of regular customers from Texas, and I'm sure they will go over to see her there. So that is coming up. And then let me see here. It's not letting me turn the page. Well, maybe not. Oh, there it goes. Okay. May is, no, it still won't let me. There it goes. Okay, North Texas Yarn Crawl. Sorry, y'all. May 10th is the Magic Loop class. That's by me. That was the one that was supposed to happen last weekend and then stormed. So if you weren't able to come before but you wanted to, then you can still sign up. There is no homework involved, so you can sign up now on our website. And then May 17th, there will be a beginner brioche class with Tori. And then May 31st, this is the one, if you're not you may have to travel, but Arkansas Yarn Co. will be turning 6 years old, y'all. And so you know what that means. There's going to be a party. So we're going to have a party. There's going to be more details to come, but I will just say this. Plan on being here at the store May 31st. That's all I'll say. All right. And then, of course, we have the yarn crawl coming up later in the summer. We have our retreat with friends that we're excited about. There's just lots of good things happening with Arkansas Yarn Co. And we look forward to it. I love working there, and I love seeing everybody come in. So thank you so much for being here. If you stayed all the way to the end, thank you very much. As always, I appreciate you so much. Tell me what you're working on. Do you have mojo? Are you, like me, just kind of making whatever makes you happy, or are you just cranking out the items like I wish I was doing? I love to know what you're working on. And I will see you again in another 2 weeks.